Hello! Woo! Right, welcome to, I'm not going to say the brand new look, but as you can see, the chair is there and I've gone for the standing look. I discussed this with the wife before coming out and I feel like it's a bit more flexy, although I might be annoying people by doing that. We've got a few people on TikTok as well tonight. Tap the screen on TikTok, please. Evening, Dave. Right, how's everyone doing? Are we all doing okay? Right, who we got in the building today? I apologise to people for Ange did point out to me earlier that I put the wrong time on for the start. No, it's not like me, is it, to do anything wrong? But yes, 5:05. I totally forgot to change the time when I did the live thing. Ange, great to see you. Sean is in the building. Steve-O is in the building. Tony's here. John's here from Peterborough. How is Peterborough today, my friend? Are we doing okay? Who else we got in the building? We've got Roberto Smithinho in the house. Scott, how are you? Villa are back. Good lad. That's what we like to see. Positivity reigns tonight. The original Spudman, I've been called on TikTok. Yeah, 46 years being the Spudman. Thanks, mate. Right. Have we got... Oh, hold on a minute. Steve's already in the building. Let's get Steve on. He missed it. He missed out last week. So don't forget, if you want to come on and have a chat, then just WhatsApp that number for the link, and I'll send you the link, and then happy days, you'll be able to come on and have a chat. Okay, right. Yes, right. Talking points tonight. Don't forget to come and, if you are in the chats, right, then come across and join our Discord server, right? Take a picture of that here and you will be able to join our lovely Discord server, and all those lovely people that you talk to every week in the comment section, which I'll put on the screen now there. They will all be in there talking about everything to do with Villa, but not only everything to do with Villa, but also to do with life, looking after each other. And I've got to say, this picture here filled me with a lot of love this week. Look at those beautiful people there. We have got the hardcore Justin Talks Villa fan club there. Black Country Villain, Ange, Steve, Rob, James. Honestly, what a beautiful bunch. They all met up on the game at the weekend and they had a lovely time. And I'm just so pleased, honestly. This makes me really happy, to be honest. And if this is the only thing that I can ever be remembered for, then I will take it all day long. We're just about to bring Steve on in a minute. So, Steve, just hold on a sec, buddy. He's in a different room tonight. How many rooms have you got, Steve? Do you live in Buckingham Palace or something? Another room, or has he been kicked out? I reckon he's been kicked out of the kitchen. His missus is doing the dinner. Right. Curry night. I've been talking to Ange and Rob today, and we have got 32 spaces, right? And I think we're up to 15 now with a possible 2 more, okay? So if you want to come across to the curry night, Ange and Rob will tell us, well, we'll get Steve on in a minute to tell us where it is. It's in Worcester. I think it's in Worcester. Steve, put a thumb up. Is it in Worcester? Yes, Worcester. Bombay. Oh, this is a good memory check. Bombay Palace. Yes! God, he's good, isn't he? I'll tell you what else I can do here, look. I did this earlier, look. I can play darts, so we can have a darts tournament. What do you reckon? 5, treble 1, and 1. Perhaps we won't play darts, that's rubbish. Okay, right. Discussion points tonight. We are going to talk about the 2 brilliant wins we've had over the last week. Europa League win, great. West Ham win, even better. Not only a win, but a really good performance as well, which is what we wanted. I am probably in the minority, but I always am. I'm really not happy for him because I'm not happy he's been left out of the England squad, but I do think it could do him good to have a rest, Ollie Watkins. And I also think he will hopefully get that motivation back to get back in that squad and have a really good end to the season, because I still think he's one of the better strikers that can play for England. Maybe do bullseye, right, Steve? We'll get him on in a sec. Bullseye, that's a good one. Right, here's a good one for you. Steve, are you listening? Because you need to think about this one. John McGinn, this is just for me, okay? John McGinn has entered my personal all-time Aston Villa top 10 players that I love. Okay, he has entered it, and I have written down I've had a quick think. I might have missed a few players out, but I've had a quick look. I've had a quick run through my best 10, my favourite 10, not necessarily the best players, but the ones that I love the most. And McGinn has entered and quite high up. So have a think about that. And the other question I'm going to ask people tonight, anybody that wants to come on, don't forget, is just send Norman that. The other question to ask is 3 loan players: Sancho, Luiz, Elliott. Who would you sign and who would you let go back? Okay. Right. I've left him waiting long enough. And here he is, the main man himself, ready to go. Applause, please, for Mr. Steve.
Hi, Justin.
Sorry, I'll turn that off. How are you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you.
Good lad. What do you think of the new setup with the standing?
I have to look on. I've got my iPad here as well, so I have to look on.
Yeah, he's getting all technical now. Look.
Yeah, because I'm obviously on my phone now, so I'm looking.
You'll have a better setup than me soon.
Yeah, that's nice, mate. That's lovely.
Yeah, I can move around a bit. I can be more flamboyant with my.
If you invited a few of us there, we could play darts.
You know what, mate? You can come play darts anytime you want.
Rob, right. Get one of your 3 cars out and pick me up, and we're off.
I wish I had 3 cars, mate.
No, not you, Rob.
I can come and pick you up in the missus's Mini. I'm sure that'll be fine. Right, Steve, how are you? Did you enjoy the game the other day? I mean, I put this picture up earlier. I don't know if you've seen it. Bloody great.
Yeah, well, obviously, I've seen it all on Discord. Yeah. Obviously, I was there.
Who took it?
There was a few photos taken. I think James's wife, Jo, she took some. I think Anthony, Black Country Villain, took one. There's a few photos kicking around, Justin.
Smashing. Honestly, when I saw that picture today, I thought that's bloody amazing. Great stuff, mate.
Well, you haven't asked me where I am yet, Justin.
Yeah, where are you, Steve? You're either locked up, you're either doing a bit of time, you've done something wrong, but you've been in your bedroom, you've been in your kitchen. Where are we now?
It's very dark, Justin. It's very dark.
Yeah, Steve, before you show me, this could be like what was that old program on the telly? You know, they used to take people around the houses and you had to guess whose the house was. Can't remember the name of the show. Anybody in the comments? What was the name of that show? You used to guess the celebrity house. Do you remember that?
Through the keyhole.
That's the bugger. Right, mate. Go on. What was you saying? Where are you?
Well, 2 people in the chat know where I am, so I'm going to swing it round and see if you can guess.
Right. Oh, he's on holiday. Bloody Nora.
I don't know what you can see there because it's a bit dark now. Can you see much?
I can, yeah. It's lovely. Where are you?
Hang on. Let's see if I can finish it off.
Oh, look at that. The pool as well. You're making us all jealous.
Well, where did you go this year, Justin?
We went to Costa Rica.
Is that Tenerife?
Tenerife, eh? Yes.
That's where I am. I am.
Oh, you git. Whereabouts in Tenerife are you?
Los Cristianos.
Yes, that's just up the coast from when we were. It's lovely, isn't it? What's the weather like?
It's been good today, but the weather, it looks like reading a book time tomorrow.
Oh. It can't be any worse than here, Steve, can it? I mean, we went in December and it was lovely.
Yeah, but that's fine. It's fine. If you would have said to me, Justin, we're going to win 2 games on Thursday and Sunday, but you've got to have a week's worth of rain. I'm taking that all day long.
Well, that's very magnanimous of you, Steve, and I'm hoping you're going to get 2 wins and the sun, to be honest.
Yeah. That's not good for my wife and my son.
No, the wives do tend to like
they're enjoying the entertainment downstairs.
She'll be less likely to enjoy the winning football and more likely to want the hot weather.
Yeah, well,
Rob said he's going to 11 Tenerife.
Is it? If we had lost those 2 games,
yeah,
I would have been so miserable sat here now, Justin, in Tenerife.
Yeah, well, we've had a rough run. We know we have, mate, haven't we? And we've tried to be as positive as we can on here. And it has been difficult at times because we know that we haven't been nowhere near where we can be. But I think for us hardcore Villa fans that understand the club and watch the club and go to all the games and digest all of the stuff that comes out of the Villa, we know that there was mitigating circumstances to that run. I mean, it probably was worse than it should have been, even with those players missing. But there was reasons why that, and I think this is why we'll come on to the John McGinn thing, which is why I think McGinn has jumped into my top 10 Villa players of all time. Because and I think, you know what the weird thing is? I was talking to a customer today. It rarely gets talked about, which is really strange, how good an actual footballer John McGinn is. Because everybody always references, oh, he's great and he gets around the pitch. He's a really good motivator. He's funny. He's the life and soul. And, it's great to have around the place. He's a good captain. But he's a bloody good footballer, Steve, isn't he?
He ain't bad, is he? If we'd have got a whole season out of him, where do you think we'd be now?
Well, I think we'd be clear. I think we'd be qualified already. I think we'd have an outside chance maybe of the top 10.
We're going to be clear anyway, Justin.
I think so.
Before I forget, I want to talk about your friend Emi.
Oh yes.
Where we all congregated yesterday. I noticed Emi walk by.
Okay.
So Ange and I walked over, introduced ourselves to her, said we were all part of your group, and if you remember, I actually spoke to her the last time she was on, and we were about 8th at the time, and I said we would finish 3rd or 4th on that episode, and where are we?
Did you remind her you said that?
I did. I did, but she spent probably Ange and I took her over to see the rest of the group, and probably spent 20 to 30 minutes with us. And Justin, she's a lovely lady.
She's lovely, isn't she? She's amazing. I love Amy. We've become really good friends since we first sort of started talking over. I think it was TikTok I first knew Amy over. And she had a tough few years, losing her dad, and who was a massive Villa fan. That's how she got into Villa and sitting next to him all those years. And it was quite, sudden losing him. And what she's doing now on the social media side, she's going to be huge. I'm telling you now, she's going to be massive. She's doing so many amazing things. We was down in London last week doing the Finalysis thing. It was a lovely night we had there. But she's a lovely girl, and she'll come on here again. Yeah, we've got another.
Well, I mentioned it to her yesterday. I said she's got to come back on. I did tell her to watch. I don't know if she's watching tonight, but I did tell her to come back on because I've got a question to ask her. She got a bit nervous about that. It's not a bad question.
No, just save it then. We'll get her back on. Hopefully the next couple of weeks. I've got another girl that Priyanka. I don't know if you know Pri. No. She does a lot with Villa and the Villa ladies and all that group, and she's lovely as well. I met her down in London. She's going to come on as well. The 2 of them probably might get them on together actually.
Okay, so one question for you, Justin: why haven't you invited Amy to the curry night?
If she can come, yes, I'll drop a message into her because the only problem she's got, mate, is she lives in London.
I know she does. I think she lives in a very posh area of London.
She lives in a nice part of London. Yes,
she did tell me. I won't reveal it, but she did tell me.
Yes, she does live in a nice part of London. So I think I will invite her, but I think it's hard for her to come up just for a curry. But I can ask her. I can definitely ask her.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the football then, Justin, because Thursday night I thought was superb. everybody in the different chats on different platforms was going stir crazy at half time because the Villa was 0-0. Yet Lille caused us absolutely no problems in the game and a half. Well, in the 2 games eventually.
Yeah.
And in that second half, we just took them apart. And I knew we were going to win on Sunday. In fact, Emi on her TikTok, when I was with Ange, I predicted 2-0, and I got that one right. And you'll find that on Discord if you want to have a look.
Oh, we're going to have a look, yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you. I think what was important last week was I think that game was setting the tone for that week because obviously we've got the Europa League was important to go through. And I think I said it on a couple of days before, maybe on the previous show. I said all that matters in that game is getting through because the performances weren't that good at that point and were as good as they were yesterday anyway. We were scratching around trying to find a bit of form. But I said all that matters in that Europa game was getting through. And then hopefully that would then give us a little bit more confidence going into the league game against a battling West Ham team who I've watched a lot recently, and they've done all right recently. They've looked decent, and winning that game was the important thing, and performance was secondary. But we not only got a win, but we got a performance as well, Steve, which is so important, isn't it?
Well, when you're playing a team that's in form, and West Ham are in form, it's difficult. But again, think about it. We destroyed them. They never had a chance in that game at all. Well,
I think it was nice to see us back to where we were.
Yeah,
not quite as good as we've been at times this season, but to be better. Back 4 was really good. I thought Torres was great coming out of the ball. Barkley. I mean, I know you know because I say it every week on here. Barkley was amazing. Him and Onana just sat
those 2 in the pivot were superb. Yeah. I actually thought the Villa were purring yesterday, Justin.
They were at times, 100%. Yeah, they were popping it around lovely. And let's
move on to Ollie. What about Ollie? I mean, I thought he was superb yesterday, running that line. He had plenty of shots, and there's more to come from Ollie this season.
I agree, mate. And I think, again, I said it last week, and I know everyone's been hankering for Tammy to start because we've got a striker, and that's the whole point of having a squad. Is you got a player. If you've got a player that isn't performing, you've got a player that can come in and take his place while the other player tries to get a bit of form back. But I stand by it. Ollie Watkins is still the best choice up top for us because of the way we play. And
if we had somebody that could cross the ball, my only negative from yesterday was Digne and Kashi, and I love Kashi this year, that they can't cross the ball. They put so many poor crosses in. I said to the person sat next to me yesterday, Digne, that's another bad cross. That's another bad cross. If you watch the game back, he had so many poor crosses. So poor Ollie, you don't get the service.
No, it's something I think that clubs don't tend to do. I was watching another game, I think, yesterday. And the amount of times they got into good positions and just refused to whip a ball in. When you go back to sort of early 90s when Beckham was coming through, he only needed half a yard. I mean, he was not blessed with pace. He was blessed with a brilliant ability to cross a ball. And he knew that if he could just get a yard, and wingers don't tend to these days get a yard and whip one in. They tend to front the defender up, beat him, and then almost cut back inside and roll it back. And it is frustrating. But, the way we play is retention of the ball, isn't it?
I don't know if you're old enough for this, Justin. I see Kev's in the chat. So Kev might know this. The best crosser of the ball I've ever seen is going back to the 70s. Derby County, Alan Hinton. Remember him?
I remember the name. I never saw him play, yeah.
Best crosser of the ball you'll ever see. He pinpoint accuracy. Anyway, we don't want to talk about Derby. We want to talk about...
No, it's a good point, to be fair. Lone players, Steve, before Joe's waiting to come on, so it won't be too much longer, Joe. Where do you stand? I think I pretty much know what everyone's going to say on the Elliott one, but Luiz and Sancho. You tell me what you would do currently, and then I'll give you my opinion.
So what was the question, Justin? So
right, 3 loan players, right? We've got
Elliott, Sancho and
Luiz.
Yeah.
If it was up to you now,
yeah,
what would you do with all 3 of them?
What, for this season or going forward?
Season. Yeah. So it's
Next
either
season.
send back, retain. Well, that's two options, isn't it? You either keep them and buy them, or you let them go back.
Well, you got to be logical about it. We can't afford Sancho. The wages are too much. So you can forget him. Don't matter how he's improved and he's getting better, but we can't afford him. So that's a non-runner. We could, if we get Champions League, and we're going to, because we're going to finish third or fourth, Justin, as I said when Amy was on, and just to follow that one up, we ain't that far behind Manchester City either, mate. Yeah, so don't go second.
What are you going to do with Louise, and what are you going to do with Elliot? I think we all.
Okay. Everybody's going to want Louise. I'm going to go with Elliot because Elliot's young. He's a better player, and if we get Champions League, we can get 35 million. I'll take Elliot because he's young, and he looks promising. He was one of the best players in the under 21s in the summer.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking the poor lad this year.
No.
So I'm going with Elliot. That might not be the popular vote, but that's my vote.
Right. I would let Harvey Elliott go back.
Yeah.
I would sign him. I would not sign Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
And I would, if the money was right, and you're right in what you say, it's the only reason, if the money was right.
Yeah, but the money's not going to be right, Justin. So you didn't give me that option. The money is
no, I
not
agree.
going to be right.
I agree. If the money was something we could stomach, I think I'm coming round to the idea that Sancho could be a real asset, but
I don't think Sancho could sustain it over a season, Justin.
He's getting better all the time, and we're getting to see almost, not prime Sancho because that was Dortmund. I don't know if we're going to see that, but
bit streaky for me. I don't think he's not a McGinn. You won't get a
different type of player, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last question, Steve. Before I let you go back to your holiday, how long are you there for, Steve? That's not the question.
We're here till next Tuesday.
Lovely, very nice. So last question.
As Anne said in the comments, I do time it with the international breaks. Yes.
You know what I mean? You're a man after my own heart, Steve. Everything around the football.
Exactly. The wife's happy. She's okay with it.
No, that's good. Happy wife, happy life, Steve. That's what I say. Exactly. Okay, last one. I have, and I will now say that John McGinn is in my top 10 most favourite / I can't really say best because it's a personal opinion, but John McGinn is now in my top 10 favourite Aston Villa players of all time. Would he get in yours?
Yes,
he would.
Absolutely. He'd get in mine. If you only give me that choice, I'm going John McGinn. I've got a couple of other favourites.
No, so you got a 10. He's in your top 10.
He's in my top 10.
Where would he roughly be? You haven't got to. Would he be in the top 5 or a bit lower?
If you delayed this question until May, 1.
Because he might be lifting something. Is that what you're saying?
We'll have this discussion on the Curry night, Justin, because we will know the answers by then.
Right. I'll tell you something now, Steve, and we will get Joe on now, so hopefully he's still there. I'm having this currently in the middle of having this Villa sleeve tattoo, right?
I saw it. I've seen it.
I know tattoos aren't for everyone, that's fine. But it's all been designed. It's William McGregor, the gaslit lamp. It's the AV floodlights. It's the beautiful brickwork of Villa. The windows. The lovely stained glass windows. Paul McGrath and Dalian Atkinson. Right. Paul McGrath because he's my favourite Villa player of all time. Dalian Atkinson scoring that goal at Wimbledon because I was there that day, and it's just one of my favourite all-time Villa memories. But I'll tell you now, I messaged Rue, who owns the tattoo shop, who I'm going to, and Mario, who's doing it. And I've said, I think I've changed my mind because I think I'm getting John McGinn as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, I'm half thinking, leave it to the end of the season, hopefully he lifts that trophy and I can get a lovely iconic to go next to Dennis Mortimer, lifting the European Cup. Super John McGinn. I can't do it, but doing that, lifting the Europa League, that'd be ace.
Can I tell you one other thing? Young Jacob from Stitcherside is coming to Echo night. I'm guessing there's 3 of them, so I'm guessing it's with his parents.
Smashing.
And if you remember your John McGinn sweater you got,
yes,
I'm hoping for young Jacob to do me one with Europa League winners 2026.
Nice. His stuff is lovely. He did. In fact, he reminded me. I'm going to pay him for that. He sent me the bill this morning. He's done me a lovely hoodie for my wife with our dog on it, which is lovely. And I give it that for a birthday last week. So yes, right. I better get Joe on, Steve.
Okay, no worries. Sorry, I missed that.
Have a lovely holiday, mate.
Thank you.
Will you be tuning in next week from Tenerife?
Well, that'll be me last night. Well, hopefully, yes, because
but don't enjoy your holiday, mate.
I've had the evening meal. I've had the evening meal at 6:30, and I got it down finished by 7:30, and I was up here. So hopefully, I'll be back on.
Lovely. Well, have a lovely holiday, mate, and I'll speak to you next week, more than likely.
Thank you, and everybody out there in Discord world. We need some more. Shauno, where are you? Get on there.
Yes, don't forget to click that link up there. Join people like Steve and Angie and everyone else, and go and have a chat on Discord. Thanks, mate.
See you later.
Right, Joe, are you there, Joe? Come in, Joe.
I am now. Or am I?
Oh, sorry about that, Joe.
Oh, no worries.
Steve-O off. He's calling me off his holidays.
Nah, no worries, mate. No worries at all.
Where are you this week? You're
Yes.
in a new room as well.
I'm not in my room. You're right. We're in the process. My fiance and I of moving. We finally found a home. Yeah, so I'm kind of like between places at the moment, but we finally found a home. It was funny, like we found it right as our Villa's form started to turn around. So like it's God answering all my prayers in 1 week, basically.
It's your fault that we're playing so well. Right, I'll just have a quick shout out. We've got nobody else waiting to come on. So if you want to come on, text. Somebody's tried to phone me, but we don't do the phone calls anymore. We're doing live. You don't have to put your camera on. You can just chat without the camera on. So just text that number, WhatsApp that number, sorry, and I'll send you the link. You can come on and have a chat. I think it's time Ange came on as well, actually. Ange, are you going to come on one of these weeks, please? If I ask you very nicely. Right, okay. Right, Joe, where should we start?
First of all, I rate that comment in the chat, by the way, that about that West Ham centre-half. Mavropanos was absolutely a man possessed. Like, if it weren't for him, we would have won that way more comfortably than we did, to be honest. He was absolutely superb.
The game I watched the week before, was it when they played Man City?
Yeah,
a good result against Man City, and he was brilliant in that game as well. He's like a man.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he scored in that. I think and Arsenal fans were saying, "Oh, he's doing a Wenger, like it's he's giving back to his club or whatever." But yeah, I mean, he's absolutely super. West Ham are staying up. I have to believe they're staying up, and I have to believe Tottenham are going down.
I'll tell you who's done really well for West Ham as well, and I thought he did well for us, was Disasi.
Yeah, did you see that interview Disasi did where he basically said that he was just played out of position here, and that was the only reason he didn't really like it? And I agree with that, honestly. Like, I'm so grateful for Disasi's time with us because he forced his way to get to us. He refused to go to Tottenham at all costs, right? And then he ended up with us. And every time he played at centre-back, he did all right. I thought he was fine as centre-back, but he didn't work as the kind of like half centre-back, half right-back that Emery likes, like what he used to like to do with Konsa. He just doesn't really work as that kind of player. So that's why it didn't make sense to really spend the money on him. But hopefully he'll do well for West Ham because he seems to suit them a lot more. Yeah,
he's a good footballer. I was speaking to Chelsea podcast, which will go on when we play them, and that they couldn't stand him. But when I looked into it, it's a similar thing to what you're saying. They were playing him out of position for most of his time at Chelsea. And they're absolutely... shit show anyway.
Chelsea are like I do think in the next few years you'll see a lot of the mistakes this ownership have made will start to bite them. Really,
best thing that can happen this season is for them to finish outside of the European Champions League places, because they are in for an absolute nightmare this summer if that happens, and I can't wait for it.
They really are, yeah. That, and if we have that, and we have a Tottenham relegation all in once, that would be huge for this club, because that would open up so much for us, because those two clubs would basically be missing out big time, and that gives us a huge opportunity to start closing the gap on the Sky Six. Like, I mean, maybe it's a pipe dream, but I really hope they go down. Just the way they acted after that FA Cup tie was an absolute disgrace. For that player, it's one thing giving our player a season-ending injury. It's a contact sport. That can happen. But when you do that and then try and injure all of our players the rest of the whole game, and then start a fight with us after the game, I'm sorry, but go all the way down to League One, mate. All the way down to League One.
I'm hoping then, man. Man City will get the book thrown at them, but I doubt it. Right, let's get through some of these questions then.
God, can you imagine if all three of those things happened?
We can dream. That's a good point. Someone's just made there. I'd have Somerville next season, not Jimmy Somerville. Crescendo. Is it Crescendo Somerville? He looks.
He's a good player, and he was out for our game, so hopefully he'll be back and help them stay up.
Who do we think will go down? I think obviously Wolves are going to go. I think Burnley are pretty much done as well. And I have got a sneaky feeling that Spurs could go. I really have.
I really hope so, mate.
Just got nothing in them, have they? That's the problem. I mean, they went and they put a brilliant performance in against Atletico, and you think, okay, you know, at home against another struggling side, and they got totally dismantled.
Yeah.
It's
that, and all their injured players, we've been hearing non-stop about the injuries are why they're there, and when the injured players come back, then they're going to come good. Most of those injured players were back, and they got like walloped 3-0 against their biggest relegation rivals. It's second biggest. I'm like, that doesn't look to me like a team that's going to stay up.
No. Right. Sancho, Louise, and Elliott.
Yeah.
Are you keeping any of them?
Sancho, I think we have to negotiate the wages, because the rumours are that Dortmund are in for him, right? And if Dortmund offer him anything close to what he's on, then we say, all right, fair play, Dortmund can have him. But if they're saying, we'll only offer you about 100k, I say, all right, we'll offer you 120, and if you'll take 120, then you can be a Villa player, and we'll give him a contract based on that. So, in short, if the wages are good, then I'd absolutely take him. What he's shown in the last few weeks has been nothing short of superb. Like, he's really come along. I think he's our most informed attacking player at the moment, which is like
him and McGinn probably,
Yeah, I mean, like I only didn't count McGinn because he's more like he's like attacking and midfield to me. But yeah, between those two, it's definitely they're our most informed attacking players, absolutely. So I'd definitely take him if the wages are right. So yeah, I'd take Sancho. Luis, for what they quoted, they didn't Juventus didn't quote us that much to sign him permanently. It was only about 25 million. That's not too bad. So, look, if we got the room for it, I'd take him. And I think it would just depend because, like, midfield depth, as we've seen this season, is just so important for us. Like, he's not the player that left us, but we were never going to get that player back, unfortunately. But as a depth player who he can stand in for Tielemans every now and then, give Tielemans a bit of a rest, I wouldn't mind it. Elliott, I wouldn't take back because the thing is, outside of that, like 20 minutes against Lille, he's never convinced me that he is a new Unai Emery player. I'm sure he's a brilliant footballer, and by all accounts, he's a lovely lad. But whenever I've seen him play, he's just not really pulled up any trees for me. He's never really convinced me, and I'm not I'm not saying anything about his ability. I just don't think he suits Aston Villa.
No, I don't think Emery does as well, which is why he's just not wanting to play him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, you're a bit younger than me, aren't you, Joe? How old
Yep.
are you, Joe?
29.
Right. So, in the time you've been watching Villa, it's probably a bit easier for you, to be honest, because you've probably
Sadly.
a lot of crap overall. Would McGinn get into your top 10 Villa players?
Yeah, he's number 2 for me.
Number 2?
Yeah, he's all the way at second for me because this guy got us promoted. This guy got us to the Champions League. And in a few months, this guy's going to lift our first major trophy in years, or first major trophy in my lifetime. I've got
to ask, who's number 1 then?
So a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this.
No, this is your opinion. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, I know it doesn't matter. But
also, I'll say this point now, and there's a couple of people waiting to come on, so we'll get them on in a minute.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be the best footballer. It has to be somebody that you've just gelled with. I remember always loving El Mohammadi. Loved El Mohammadi.
I love him.
Loved him. So go on then, Joe.
And El Ghazi as well. El Ghazi is actually up there for me. No, for me, it's Emi Martinez. Like, easily Emi Martinez. I've never fell in love with a player or been inspired by a player more than Emi Martinez. Just his story, just like overcoming adversity the way he did, just the way he showed up on the world stage, how he beat France in the World Cup. Like, just everything about Emi Martinez to me is like is so inspirational, and he is my number 1 favorite Villa player of all time.
Love it, Joe.
It's him for me, and I hope we can convince him to stay. But we'll see what happens this summer. Yeah. He's going to retire as a Villa legend because he's lifting that Europa League trophy regardless.
Another one that's going to go as a legend, isn't it? There's a lot of legends in this team, isn't there? Right, Joe.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why we need this Europa League, because I know this squad's going to change, but I want them to have that on their resume, that they ended our trophy drought.
Yeah, it would be lovely. Lovely, mate. Have a lovely week.
Yeah, you too, mate. Up the Villa.
Up the bloody Villa. Right. We have now got, you remember Atkinson and Saunders. You remember the deadly duo. We have now got Wayne and Lewis. Woo! The new deadly duo of the Villa Monday night phoning. How are you, boys?
Not bad, Jay.
I'm all right, thanks. Lewis?
Yep. Can you hear me this week?
I can hear you, but you haven't paid the meter. Look, have you got no lights on in your house?
I've got one light up in this attic and it's absolutely crap.
Lewis, you need to buy lights.
He ain't put 50p in the meter, is he?
You know,
he's got in it.
I haven't got this lavish lifestyle like Steve can, ending up in Tenerife and everywhere.
Yeah, we can't all phone him from a bloody balcony in Tenerife. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
Nice.
What a life, fair play to him. Right, Lewis, I'm going to send you some money so you can get yourself a nice ring light beyond that bloody computer. Jesus.
I'll get a backlight.
Just get a ring light or something. Get them off TikTok shop for about £8.
I'll sort it out.
Okay. Thank you. Right, boys. Talk about the game. What do we reckon? Last 2 games. How happy are we after that?
Absolutely. Oh, just over the moon. Do you know what I mean? We've got the results we needed to get, and I think we've gone through. I think West Ham, I said 1-0. 2-0's even better, isn't it? But I would have taken 1-0 regardless. 3 points don't matter. And the other one, obviously, winning in Europe as well. You can't ask for much more, can you, really?
No.
And the fact that teams around us lost, it's even better. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame, but my heart's bleeding. Can you see the show?
Yeah, you almost sounded like you was telling the truth there, Wayne.
I was trying to hide it.
Must be hard coming from. You got any like West Ham fans from around by you, or like how close are you into sort of that area?
I've got my uncle's West Ham, unfortunately. A few of my friends are West Ham. Obviously, I just texted, sorry, my mate's birthday, and I went, sorry about the football. Happy birthday. That was it.
Super. Lewis, do you enjoy them games?
I didn't watch the West Ham game, but I've heard absolutely glowing references from literally everyone that I watch and listen to at the Villa. So I can only go by it was perhaps the most complete performance we've had this year. I did manage to catch as much as I can for the Europa League match. I was on an install for a customer, so I had to dash back and sort stuff out. But I caught the second half, and wasn't brilliant. But like you said, at that point, get the job done, get the win next round, get this international break out the way. McGinn's back. Yuri Tillemans is on his way back. Apparently, I heard that the injury to Boubacar Kamara isn't as bad as we thought it was. So we might have a full complement for the most important games as we finish our running. Yeah,
I think Kamara being back for the end of the season is probably a bit of a long shot. I mean, I did see the video of him, and Anna put it on him doing chin-ups or something in the gym, but it's looking
in the gym, isn't it?
Yeah, in and around. When you say installing, Lewis, you're not installing lights then, are you?
No, completely different type of installation. Nothing to do with electronics, unfortunately.
I was going to say, you could have just nicked one and put it in your attic.
Oh, no, it'd be an house fire.
I'll stop ripping you now. Right, loan players. Would you keep any of the 3 loan players?
Wayne?
Okay, all right.
Let's start with, all right, let's do it individually. Right, Wayne, go. Sancho. That's the big
Sancho,
one.
if we can get his wages down, I think he'd be a good player to have as a team player. Obviously, depending who's going out as well, that's going to make a difference in it, to be honest. But I think he's good,
Have you changed your mind on Sancho over the last few weeks?
To be honest, he's shown a bit more, hasn't he? I think
I agree with what you're saying, and I think everybody's going to say the same. If his wages are right, we would sign him. But even a few weeks ago, Daz asked me on WM, he said, "What do you think about Sancho?" And I said, "Do you know what? At the moment, I think he's getting better, but the numbers aren't there. So the goals and the assists, which is what he's basically paid to do, isn't it? Score and assist." And I would have said no at that point, but now I'm coming around to it, and I think what you're saying is probably right. What we're all thinking.
I think not being funny, if you was going to say him instead of Bailey, because Bailey's no better, to be honest, is he?
No, take him over Bailey any day.
And that's what I'm saying. So if Bailey, I don't mean it in a funny way, but if Bailey was to go, I would bring in Sancho as a replacement for Bailey, if that was the option. Do you know what I mean? Douglas Luiz I like and always have liked. And I think Douglas Luiz gives us something different, even if it's a dink pass or just a little bit of flair. Don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of mistakes. And you'll hear me swearing at the telly when he does. But that's most of the players, you know what I mean? But I do like him. And I think if we can get him at the right price as well, so I don't think he'd cost that much. And even if you use him as a backup player.
Yeah, I think it's already been set, I think.
Right.
And I think we all agree Elliot's not going to happen. Lewis?
No.
No to Sancho.
Really?
No.
For what reason? You haven't seen enough from him, or the money side of it?
Both. He's going to command a wage. He's going to command a hefty wage. His output, I don't think, has been brilliant. And now that his contract's coming to an end at United, lo and behold, he's putting in effort. Where was this? For the games that you were coming on earlier on this season, and especially when we had our hot streak, where were you then? Douglas Luiz.
He's harsh, Lewis, isn't he? Are you a manager, Lewis, in your job?
Aiming
he is, isn't he?
Aiming
to be.
He's a manager, isn't he?
So
career manager.
Does everyone get quiet when you walk into the room, Lewis, in your job?
Yeah, they got that.
Old shake.
There goes that dickhead again.
I don't. You make good points, and I don't disagree. How many times have we seen it when we have a loan player who is seemingly putting it in, and then they get the deal, and then it disappears off a cliff?
Well, the way I'm looking at it is, if we're nailing Bailey to the wall for his lack of output,
I hope we don't nail him to the wall. I mean, he hasn't been great, but that's a bit harsh, Lewis.
Do you think? I don't know. Yeah. I've seen Bailey get pelters on forums and things like that, but that's just what I've seen. Yeah. And Bailey does get a reel, and he shouldn't, because I know he
No.
does try, but he does. Unfortunately, his output hasn't been brilliant, and Sancho's is, to me, almost comparable. So, you can't say one thing without the other person getting almost not the same treatment, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. But Bailey's got fresh start written all over him in the summer, somewhere he just wants to go and start again from fresh, and not alone, a proper move. Go on, son, go and pick somewhere.
I don't think the loan helped him, really, did it? To be honest,
No.
I don't think it helped him at all. And I felt a bit sorry for him, really. It's just like he got shipped out on loan. They didn't really want him. He was injured as well, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah,
which didn't help. And then he's come back, and you're like, well, you'll do. We've got no one else. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's a shame because that season he had a couple of seasons ago, he was brilliant. He just hasn't. Lewis is looking for 50p now. Look.
He's got to top up. He's topping it up. Look.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll towards the end of the season, we will come on and we'll have we'll do one whole night talking about the squad and what we would do. Keep
definitely.
Retain,
I do feel sorry for Elliot. To be honest, I think for the price we could get Elliot for, I think even if you kept him for a year or 2 years. Yeah, if Unai Emery could make him a better player, which he would, because he would learn so much more, I think we'd make more money on him by selling him. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the big issue for me is I think if that was the case, I think they would have been playing him more regularly. I think if they'd have seen enough in him to make that deal permanent in the summer, then they might.
Yeah, but not being funny, what he's played, you can't tell. If you played any player, what he's had minutes-wise for Villa, you could go, oh, mate, he's worth 35 mil.
Yeah, but
because he hasn't played, has he, really?
Yeah, I see him every day in training, don't they, I suppose, and that's where
maybe. He seems like a good lad, doesn't he? He seems like a good lad. He's not being funny, he hasn't spat his dummy out. He hasn't kicked off, as far as I'm aware.
Everybody that I talked to down the Villa that's in and around the training ground and the place said he's an absolute diamond of a guy. He's never threw his dummies out the pro. He's never had a turn. He's never demanded this, that, and the other. And you've just got to give him a lot of credit for that, because the situation he's found himself in is terrible, really. For him personally, it must be terrible to have. He's basically wasted a whole season of his career, and he's a young lad who was on the cusp of something big. He was brilliant in the 21s, won the tournament for England.
To be honest, I think it'd piss off anybody if it happened to them. I'd be well annoyed, to be honest, if I was sitting there going, "Are you going to play me or what?" I'm just sitting here like a prize.
Pissed off with Villa. I'd say, "What the me? You've done this to me now. You've left me, hung me out to dry." So the fact he's not is huge credit to the lad, really. So
it's a shame, because they've sort of not done him any favours here. He's been proper done in, like, with a stupid deal.
Right,
which is a shame.
And this is a left field question. It's only about Ollie Watkins. I think it's at the moment it's a good for Villa that he's not got an England call up. Not good for him personally. I get that.
Totally agree.
But I think this break will do him a lot of good. And I think by being left out of that England squad and still being given, I would think, the chance to maybe get a call up towards the end of the season, if he can get the form going, I think this could be the kick up the arse to really get his head down and have a good end to the season. So my question to you both is, start with you, Lewis, if you want, because Wayne doesn't stop talking. Unbelievable. Is, can Ollie Watkins still make the England squad for the World Cup?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Wayne? No, I'm joking. Go on, Lewis.
I think... or I believe if he goes on a hot streak now, especially now that we're getting our creative midfielders back, you would have been better to see what he was doing on the pitch on Sunday than obviously myself. So I can't really say much for that. But from what I've heard, he was a lot more energetic, getting into better positions, pressing more. It was only that Mavropanos that stopped him from getting more goals. And that's going to be down to more creative outlets. McGinn coming back. Yuri's going to be back soon. So it's up to Ollie now. Only Ollie can get back into that England squad. But he's going to have a real good chance of it now that the most creative members of the team are now coming back into the fold. So it's all up to Ollie now. He's just got to want it really, really bad.
Wayne, do you agree?
I'm quite happy if he don't go in there, to be honest, because if he's going to go on form, I think he should. Like anything with England, I think only form players should be in there. If you're not on form, you shouldn't be in there. It's as simple as that. And I think the problem is in the past we've had too many people who have gone, "Oh, I've got my favourites. He's going to have to come in." Yeah, but he hasn't played, and he's played shit when he has played, so he shouldn't be in there. I think he should be a form player, and if you're not on form, you don't deserve to go. It's as simple as that. And I think, to be honest, watching him Sunday, he looked a different player. He looked a happy player. Before, he looked like he was under pressure, always struggling, always pushing too hard, always trying too hard and getting nowhere. And the goal he finished was a hard goal. He has easier goals, and there's too. I think if he has too much time, I think he struggles to score. To be honest, if he's just like he hasn't got time to think, he bangs it.
Yeah, he's an instinct striker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just looking at the top goal scorers in the league, and you know what, it's mad that he has had a lot of a stick this season, and you know people say he's not, but he's only one goal off another double figure season in the Premier League. You know, and there's only. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? There's only 7 players that've got more than 10 goals this season in the Premier League. So if he gets one more, he's in the top 7 or 8 strikers in the Premier League.
Don't get me wrong, he has done well for a shit season. He's done well. I'm not going to deny that. He has done well. But the problem is, like, I don't understand Tuchel anyway. I don't rate Tuchel, to be honest. I don't think he should be doing it. He's boring to listen to in an interview. He does my Sweden. I swear, he's just like, I just can't stand him. But he's taking people who are in less, who have done less.
I don't get
put them in a team. Like Solanke. Well, he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. That's being harsh. He's nearly relegated Spurs, so I think you're being a bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves a call-up just for that, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. I think we done him a favour beating West Ham, didn't we? If we didn't beat West Ham, I think they would have been, wouldn't they?
They would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have been.
John McGinn, you guys are about the same age as me, aren't you? So you would sort of have a similar sort of plethora of players. How old are you, Wayne?
22.
Sorry, what's this?
Nearly scored him, didn't they? 46.
How old?
46.
46, yeah, okay. Lewis?
41.
Okay, so I'm older than both of you. Would John McGinn get in both of your top 10 Villa players?
He's already there for me.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
He's already there.
Easy. Easy, the top 10.
Where would you sit in your near the top, middle, bottom of that list?
Middle to bottom for me. Middle to bottom, but he is there, essentially.
I'd say middle, definitely middle. Definitely the middle. I think he's a brilliant player. Absolute quality player.
I'll tell you now. I'll reveal. I had a quick look, and there might be one or two I've just totally forgotten about because there's so many players. But these are the 10 players I've put in my top 10. No particular order, apart from number 1 is always and will always be Paul McGrath.
Yeah.
The other 9, Paul Merson, Dwight York, Gareth Barry, Emi Martinez, Jack Grealish, although he has dropped down the list, Ian Taylor, Gordon Cowans, and John McGinn, and Paul McGrath, obviously. And I think Guinea is getting up towards the top of that list now. And if he lifts a trophy, I think he'll be number 2.
To me, he's just. I think he's just like a sort of old-fashioned player, isn't he? You get what you get. There's no airs, no graces. He's just straight on it, and that's it. And I think that's what we're sort of missing sometimes, to be honest.
But do you agree with me though? That's all. Whenever anyone mentions John McGinn, they say what you've just said, and I've said it, and we all say, "Oh, yeah, we miss his drive, his tenacity, his tackling, blah blah." He's bloody good footballer as well. And that goal he scored,
the cracking goal.
If Asensio scores that, we're talking about it for weeks.
No, we're not. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I think. No, yeah, I didn't really rate him when he was there. To be honest, I didn't think he's all right.
If an Italian player or a Spanish player or a player player scores that
Yeah,
type of goal, running onto it, bending it in the top corner.
You're right. You're right. If it was somebody else, they'd be on it for like weeks, so they'd be all over bloody Talk Sport and bloody Sky Sport and everything else. Oh, he plays for Man United. It's the bollocks of the goal of the year, and it's not, because it's John McGinn who just trots along, does his job, no airs and no graces, not in the limelight all the time, is he? He's not the big I am. He just hits the ball and he hits it well and he scores a good goal, and he does it quite often, to be honest.
His body of work at Villa and Scotland. I mean, he's
done well for Scotland.
He's going to be the all-time top goal scorer for Scotland if he carries on going the way he's going.
Yeah,
the goal he scored against Sheffield Wednesday, that volley from the edge of the area, and from the Championship goal against Sheffield Wednesday to an absolute howitzer in the Champions League quarter-final against bloody PSG last year. You couldn't get too further away, things. And the guy has just been on this journey with us. And every time, I mean, we look back at, there ain't many things I'll be saying about, what's his bloody name? The last manager, Gerrard. There won't be many things I will thank to Stephen Gerrard for. And I'm not particularly thanking him for the way he did it. But when he relieved Mings of the captaincy and he gave it to McGinn, there was quite a few eyebrows at the time, weren't there? And I don't think McGinn really embraced it to start with. Maybe that was the having a bit of awkwardness around the training ground that you've just had your mate's been stripped to the captaincy and they're giving it to you. But he's grown into a proper captain, hasn't he?
Well, he's a leader, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what you need at the end of the day. And not being funny, I think John McGinn would be. He might be the way he'd take you to the side and give you a kick in the arse, and you need it. Do you know what I mean? Which I think you need. I think you need someone like that. You don't get me wrong, because they're a bit prima donnas now, aren't they? They're a bit delicate, bless them, little flowers, aren't they? But I think sometimes you need to tell them the truth and give them a kick in the arse and go, actually, that was your fault, mate. You need to buck your ideas up, and this is why, and explain what happened and why it happened, and then go, right, I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, I agree. Chris?
For me, John McGinn is the embodiment of what you want from an Aston Villa player. Hardworking, tenacity, flair, leadership, can rally the other players around you. This is what we've been missing since he's been injured. And now that he's come back, I feel like the season is going to get back on track. And it's all because of one player coming back into the fold. And I read a post on Facebook saying that this transfer needs to be investigated because we have had Hibs. There should have been an extra 2 or 3 zeros on the end of that transfer fee.
Definitely.
There really should have been.
It's got to be one of the best value for money signings of all time, hasn't it?
What was he? Two something, wasn't he?
2.5 million.
Yeah. It's nothing, is it? Peanuts now. Do you know what I mean? And even now, what's he worth now?
20 million, 30 million.
At least 20, even if you said 20. So you're still making a profit, aren't you?
No, priceless.
If we sell John McGinn, we riot. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm taking the doors off down Villa Park if anything happens to that bloke.
Yeah.
Incredible. Right, lads, thank you so much. We're closing in on time. I'm not going to do a quiz tonight because Lewis is cheating. He's like the Chelsea of Justin Talks for the podcast. He does his research. He's got his computer on. So, you have to be very careful. He's like the coffin bloke off the U wants to be a millionaire, isn't he? Somebody in the background. Right. Thanks, boys. Thank you so much for jumping on. It's always appreciated. You know that. I don't know whether you can come up to the curry night. I know it's a bit of a trek for both of you, but
here he goes. Look. Even his curry. Well, I thought he was coming down to pick me up, wasn't you? That was the plan.
Oh yeah. Anyway, you're cutting out. Wayne.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
I'll get a new light for next week.
Do you get to many games at Villa?
Do I?
Do you get to many of the games, home games?
I've done a stadium tour there. I've probably been to 3 games max, really, but it is what it is, and it is unfortunately the way it is.
It's always just the travel.
Yeah, it's everything, isn't it? It's the travel. It's like the expensive. If I stayed there, I'd rather go there and spend the night in a hotel and then come back the next day. You're not rushing around like an idiot and then getting back at stupid o'clock and all that, and relying on trains everywhere and everything. So it's just. And I also basically follow my local team as well, obviously.
Local team?
Ashford United.
Oh, okay. What
yeah, They're in the is it Ryman's League? I think South or something. So they're not. They're a grassroots football. You know what I mean? And they're trying to get promotion.
Yeah,
But
I love a non-league game. I follow 3 teams around here: Hensford, which is literally around the back of the fence there.
Yeah.
Chasetown, my mate's team, and my daughter's boyfriend plays for Rushall Olympic. We went down to watch them last week. And we're going tomorrow, actually. He's got
Right.
semi-final at Chasetown, so we're going there tomorrow. So if there's any Villa fans around, there's a nice game of football tomorrow night. If you are getting whatever about not watching any football, there's loads of non-league games that would love you to go down and watch them. But yeah, brilliant. Thanks, boys. I do appreciate it. You know that.
See you later. Take it easy.
Yeah.
See you later. Try a
Up
bit.
the Villa.
Right. Thanks. Honestly, that's amazing. You guys, I'll say it now. Love having you all on. You're all welcome anytime. Be nice to get some more of you on, over the next few days, weeks and months. Hopefully some people get a bit of confidence coming on. Just come along. Honestly, it's no pressure. You can come on. You don't have to have your camera on. You can just have the audio. It's fine. Honestly, it's no problem whatsoever. So, yes, I don't know whether we've got any more for the curry night, Ange, have we? Have we got any more? Are we up past 15 yet? Or... I'll put my face on for next week. Yes, come on, Ange. Just waiting for her to come back to me with the any more numbers for the curry night. Possibly not. So yes, thanks ever so much for watching. Don't forget tomorrow. I will show you this now. Please go over and watch. It is the 30th anniversary. I can just do this. Right. It is the 30th anniversary, as you all probably know. Oh, God. How can I do this now? Right. Close that. Do that. And that. If I just bring this up here, of the year of the... Why can't I find that now? Oh, there it is. It is the 30th anniversary tomorrow of the last time Aston Villa won a major trophy, which is ridiculous to say, absolutely ridiculous to say. And I have interviewed both Brian Little and Ian Taylor for, I'm going to say, like a little documentary type episode. So I'm not on this at all. You hear me a couple of times just prompting and asking a couple of little questions. But I sat down with Brian Little, Ian Taylor, and we dissected all the way from when Brian Little took over in 95 from Ron Atkinson. Excuse me, his thoughts on the squad at the time, how he developed the 3 at the back, or he calls it a 5-3-2, not a 3-5-2. He explains why in the documentary. And then through to the 96 season, where he brought in Savo, Draper, Tommy Johnson, Gary Charles, Ian Taylor, and then they discussed the whole run through all the way to Wembley and their thoughts. I've been putting little clips out all day on my socials, so if you go over there and watch that, there's a couple of really funny clips with Brian Little saying about when they, I think it was, in fact, come on, I'll show it you. How's that? Little treat. Let's give you a little treat. This was, hopefully it'll work. Downloads, is it there? Hopefully this will work. Not that one. That one, no, not that one. I wasn't going to do this, that's why. This is the one. I think this is quite...
Peterborough, you know, I mean, I just... No, we were so ready for that game. And when we'd won, it was brilliant. You know, the lads, they're a great set of lads. And I remember, you know, Doug come into the dressing room. Right, lads, we can go anywhere in the world, he said, for a holiday. And they all went, Magaluf. And I'm like, what? So we ended up in Magaluf's. I'm like thinking, I'm thinking somewhere really exotic, you know, and they're all going, Magaluf, Chairman, Magaluf. And we ended up going to Magaluf.
It's a brilliant chat, honestly. I love talking to both the guys. They're great people. So that's out tomorrow. Go over and watch that. Give you something to do whilst we got no football. Oh, terrible. Anybody has got any ideas what we can do next week? I know Rob is always full of good ideas. Go and have a chat on the Discord and we'll maybe come up with a little quiz next week or something. We can all do a Villa quiz or something like that. I'll try and get a guest on maybe. I am talking to one or two Villa players at the moment. Might try and maybe get one of them on maybe for questions and answers to you guys. How would that be? Maybe that'd be a good idea. So yes, thank you ever so much for joining me tonight and have a lovely, lovely week. And I'll speak to you all next Monday. Up the Villa.